Hello everyone, and welcome to this brief tutorial on how to use ONET Online. This is a wonderful tool for career exploration and job analysis. When you come to the ONET Online homepage, there's a lot going on. For today's tutorial, we are only going to focus on the interest survey and interest profiler seen here. The purple box that says, I want to be a, click on Find It Now. It'll bring you to this page, where it asks a very simple question. What do you want to do for a living? Now, as simple as this question is, it may not be something that you've considered yet. That's okay. But now is a perfect time to get started. There are a couple different options on this page. You can search careers by keyword. You can browse by industry. But today we're going to do the interest profiler, walk through the steps, and see how to analyze the results. For that, go to the box that says Tell us what you like to do, and click Start. This interest profiler is going to generate a list of possible job opportunities and career choices for you. So it's important that you answer the questions honestly and accurately. There are 60 questions which can seem overwhelming, but take your time and you'll be done before you know it. After you've read the initial instructions, click Next. Here it's giving you an idea of how to rank your choices from strongly dislike to strongly like. It's going to list out a bunch of different choices on each page, and you're going to say whether it's something that you strongly dislike, unsure about, strongly like, or anywhere in between. When you're ready to begin, click Next. Do not think about jobs that make a lot of money or how much training is involved. When you're thinking about yourself, think about the things you like to do. When you're ready to continue, click Next. There are no right or wrong answers on this assessment. This is a reflection of you. Your scores, your choices are going to differ from those around you, and that's the way it should be. Don't worry about what other people are putting on theirs. This is something you want to do without doing a lot of talking and focus on yourself. Do a lot of inner reflection. When you're ready to begin, click Next. It'll bring you to a page just like this. As you can see, the different choices, ranging from build kitchen cabinets, proofread or record forms. It tells you how many pages you have to go and how many of the questions you've completed. You can see here's your ranking system from strongly dislike to strongly like. You may notice you cannot click Next until you answer or give a rating for each of the choices that you see. And you can't even go down to questions 4, 5, 6 until you've started with number 1. So as you are going through, rate how you feel on each of these choices. Rate them accurately, because that's going to give you the best results at the end. When you have completed filling out the rankings on a page, you will notice the next button will turn to yellow. You may then click on it to proceed to the next page. When you have finished entering all of your responses, you can click back to double check all of your ratings to make sure that they're accurate. When you are finished, click Next. It's going to give you the option to check to see if there are any unanswered questions, or if there's any answers that you're unsure of and you want to change the rating, it will allow you to do that as well. But if you are 100% done, click Next one more time, and it's going to bring you to your interest profiler results. Now you will see your interest results. There are 6 different categories that our interests fall into: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Everyone is going to have different score for each of these depending on how you answered. Some people might find themselves to be very artistic, not so much on the enterprising, or reverse of that, and that is okay. If you want to know more about what these specific categories mean, simply click on the link. Realistic interests include those people that like practical, hands-on problems and answers. You might like working with plants or animals. You like working with real-world materials and enjoy being outside. Investigative interests are those that include people that like to search for facts or figuring out problems, rather than maybe being outside and being active. Those with artistic interests like creativity. like thinking outside the box and creating. This could be done through a variety of ways: music, art, graphic design, acting, cooking. There are so many ways you can pursue artistic outlets. Those with social interests like working with people. Those that want to help, those that want to serve others through teaching, giving advice, going into the military, law enforcement. Those people that enjoy working with others will probably have a high social interest score. Those with enterprising interests love to make decisions. They may have a great interest in money and math. They're great leaders. They're charismatic. They like being in charge of projects, and they kind of like helping others reach their potential. And those with conventional interests like working with clear, set rules, and they may not necessarily want to be the leader, but they enjoy a strong leader that they can rely on for answers to their questions that they know is going to get the job done and help motivate everyone else. They like to pay attention to detail. They are very focused on the small pieces rather than the big picture. So when you look at your results, the first question to ask yourself, especially after looking at these categories, is that me? Does this sound like me? If not, ask yourself, were you accurate when you were rating these interests? Because that might be part of it. And it's okay if your results don't quite match you. Your interests are going to change the more you learn and the more you grow. But this is a great starting point. Now that you've looked over your different interest scores, click on Next. Now it's time to start looking at the type of jobs you may be well suited for. The great thing about the O-Net Interest Profiler is that not only will it provide you different career choices and opportunities to explore, it does it in a way that lets you look at how much training or education you will need to pursue those jobs after you graduate from high school. So when you're looking at these categories, think about how much education or training you want to pursue after high school or how much you have now. When you're ready to start looking over your career choices, click Next. There are 5 different job zones or categories to choose from. Little or no job preparation means jobs that you could get right after high school, right after graduating, with no college work or no special certifications. Some job preparation involves maybe getting an associate's degree at a community college or a couple of years of college work or receiving some type of special certification that could be in automotive work or welding. Medium job preparation is equivalent to a bachelor's degree, graduating and getting a 4-year degree in college. High job preparation would include an advanced degree like a master's degree. So not only your 4 years spent in college, but some more on top of that. An extensive job preparation, I would equate that to getting a PhD. So you're spending a lot of time in school, getting a lot of background knowledge, maybe extra certifications, more than just one. So when you're looking at the careers that may interest you, be thinking about how much effort you want to put in after you graduate. And please note, this may change. You may not want to do a whole lot after high school because, let's be honest, high school can be a grind. Once you're out, once you're in college, or once you're in that next step, your interests may change. You're not locking yourself into a career choice by looking at them now. So I would recommend, when you start looking at these career paths, explore all the different options, and maybe there's a specific job that's going to jump out at you. When you're ready to continue, click Next. It'll ask you to choose a job zone. You can always come back and change this. For this demonstration, let's choose Job Zone 3, Medium Preparation, which would give us the equivalent of a bachelor's degree from a 4-year university. Now, based on our interest profile results, it's going to generate a list of jobs that it feels we would be well suited for. It's going to confirm that we have what we are looking for, Job Zone 3, and again, it's going to show us our interest profiler scores. When we're ready to see the careers related to these interests, our highest ones right now are investigative, enterprising, and conventional. Click on Next. Now it's going to give you a list of jobs that it feels, based on your interest, you may be well suited for or interested in. So I've got airfield operations specialist, coroner, detective, criminal investigator. Quite a few. Now I can always go back, change my job zone to higher or lower preparation depending on what I want. So know that that's always an option, but let's go ahead and continue with these. Detective and criminal investigator sounds pretty interesting to me. I want to learn more. All you have to do to learn more about a career is click on the link. It's going to bring you to a very cool page that gives you a lot of great information. The knowledge and skills that you'll need to be successful in this career, the abilities you want to make sure that you have. But what I think is of most interest to students is it gives you the job outlook. So is this a job that's, there are a lot of availabilities or not a lot of availability? What's the average salary like? Where can I find these jobs in my state? You have all of these options to check out. Do you need education? Where can you find the certifications for that job? Play around with this page and really dive deep into the jobs that interest you. So for example, find jobs in my state. It'll bring you up to a map, and it shows you where there are lots of opportunities for this job, Texas being one of them, or places where there's not a lot of opportunities to be a detective or criminal investigator. Click on your state, and it's going to bring you to another list, basically showing you the same information, but it just lets you know, are there opportunities in your state? National outlook, it says, is below average, so there are less of these jobs nationally than there used to be, and that's something to consider as well. You can always click on the back button to go back and explore some more. It also gives you some related jobs. Maybe detective and criminal investigator isn't something you want, or the first job it pulls up, maybe that's not for you. So look at some other related jobs. You may find one that interests you. As always, click on the back video. There's these really cool videos you can watch that explains what the job is and things that you would be doing with that job. Now up here, you don't have to click back. It opens in a different window, so you can always choose the next job. Just click on the other tab and come back and choose your next one. But play around with these, dive deep, and find those jobs that are really interesting to you. Now, you can always click on Find More Careers. It'll bring you kind of back to the beginning, and you can start over again. Now, this O-Net Interest Profiler is a great first step. This is not the end-all. It is not the only way to find jobs that you're interested in. There are plenty of opportunities for that as well. What I'd like for all of you to do is go through this process, take time with it, be careful with it, and get the most accurate results you can. And then have a discussion about what came up. Do those jobs reflect you? Are those jobs that you're interested in? Do your jobs match someone else in your class that maybe you hadn't thought about before? Maybe you and someone else share very similar career goals and you never knew it. Use these as a discussion point. Talk to each other. I will be sending more information and more college and career readiness materials to you. And hopefully I'll be able to get out there in person or do a live meeting with you as well to get to know you more. Take this first step and let's see how it works. Thank you so much for watching this brief presentation.